national record holder. He made the final in Tokyo. This is the man who's put over 2 meters on his personal best. The man from Jamaica, Rashida Campbell. The Serbian athlete Armin Sinisevic is the European silver medalist. He knows a thing or two about making finals as well. And so does this man, one of the Italian athletes, Leonardo Fabri. He's made a World Championship final before, as has Filip Mihalovic of Croatia, the European champion. Darlan Ramoni of Brazil, world indoor champion. He went out to excess of 22 meters in qualifying. Zane Weir made the final. It took him 2 attempts to get there. He is the European indoor champion. Peyton Ottendal, one of 3 American athletes to make this final. Such a stronghold event for the USA. One of 2 New Zealand athletes here, Jacko Gill. This is his 4th consecutive World Championship final. And Tom Walsh, you've got to think he fancies his chances of getting hold of one of those medals. World champion in London 5 years ago. The 2nd New Zealander. And what about this, Joe Kovacs? 2-time world champion, 2-time Olympic silver medalist. Denied by this man on both occasions. Ryan Crouser, world record holder, double Olympic champion. Can Crouser prove that those blood clots, I mean, gosh, he really is a hard man, isn't he? Well, a penny for the thoughts of Ryan Crouser. I'm sure he's come into this competition a little more nervous and anxious than what he normally would feel. He is due to get us off to the start in this men's shot final. He will go in start number 1. What a way to start this competition. Well, he really did a big throw and a big yell, didn't he? That preceded that. It was a big effort from Crouser. Quickly followed by a yes. I'm just wondering how important it's going to be for Crouser to put a big one out early. Well, he has done exactly that. 22 meters, 63. Well, I can tell you there is only Crouser and Joe Kovacs who have thrown in excess of that this year. What a way to start. Sinisevic from Serbia. His season's best stands at 21 meters 14. He did that, incidentally, in Los Angeles, in California, where Crouser did get that world record. 20 meters 78 for Sinisevic. Rajinda Campbell, first appearance at a World Championships. He went out to 22 meters 22 in Madrid. That was at the middle of July, so fairly recently. Well, Well, again, Campbell, another one of those athletes who really, really roars once he lets go of that shot put. And he just, oh, in fact, he overbalanced. So he fell out of the front of the circle there, so that will not have a mark. There we go, we can see the cross. Campbell, 2 more puts to try and get into that final 8. Of course, I presume if you're joining us, you know a thing or two about the shot puts. All 12 men guaranteed 3 throws, and then the top 8 a further 3. Peyton Ottendal, he was 3rd at the US National Championships. The US have fielded 4 men at this World Championships. Quite surprisingly, we did have a casualty. It was last year's bronze medalist Josh Owatunde, who didn't advance to this final. But 4 athletes representing the USA, courtesy of Ryan Crouser being the reigning world champion. Reigning world champions and reigning Diamond League champions get a wild card to the World Athletics Championships. Zaid Weir also, that putt just falling below 21 meters, and we saw the official, it's a red flag. And in fact, yeah, he just voluntarily stepped out of the front there. He wasn't happy with that. You can't blame athletes for doing that sometimes. It's almost saying to the officials, don't bother, I'm going to beat that one. So there is that cross against Weir's name. Well, New Zealand are very good in the men's shot puts. In my notes it says Jacko Jill, 3 times World Championship finalist. Well, this is his 4th. Still only 28 years of age. He was a phenomenal youth and junior athlete. Got some heavy strap in there on his quad. There we go, just falling short of that 21 meters once again. Well, it really does make Ryan Crouser's 22.63 stand out, doesn't it? I was asking one of our other commentators from World Athletics, Dan O'Brien, you'll all be familiar with his name, former world record holder, world champion in the decathlon. I said, Dan, do shot putters, do they prefer to do the round and the final on the same day? And he said, yeah, they'd rather just get it out of there, especially if you've qualified with just the 1 throw, as Joe Kovacs did. So Kovacs then, over 21 meters. Well, you can forgive him for not seeming that impressed with that, because when you're trying to win this title, which I'm sure he thinks he can, especially because Crouser has had his problems the last 3 weeks or so, you're not happy, you want more when you see your competitor go out over 22 meters. But 21.55, that'll do. That puts him comfortably in 2nd place so far. He went out to 21.59 this morning in qualification. Look at the concentration. Darian Romani. He knows this is an opportunity for him. Romani was the last man to defeat Ryan Crouser in a major championship. That came last year at the World Indoor Championships, and that was a big shock for everyone. But the Brazilian has been very, very consistent with his form. Well, he's just wiping his brow, he's wiping his head, he's wiping everything he can. It is hot down there, and we saw the weather graphic. There's no wind, there's no breeze, and it is very, very close. Well, the shot putters, of course, we're used to seeing them chalk up, but I think today, this evening, certainly needed. Well, again, over 21 meters. It didn't look as far as Kovacs's shot did it, 21.55. I'm going to say after 8 men have done the first throw, I think he's going to be in 3rd position. There we go, 21.31. It's a steady start. Wasn't the start that he was probably hoping for, that 22.37 he unleashed this morning. Mustafa Hassan from Egypt went out to 21 meters 65 earlier this year in Cairo. Was back in March, so tough for him to hold on to that sort of form, and that one will not feature in the medals. We know 21.31 is propping up 3rd position so far. Absolutely brilliant slow motion shots there from our camera operatives. These guys are big men, but they're so athletic. Hassan, I think he stepped out of the circle as well. So don't bother measuring that one. As Tom Walsh, we just saw his implement land, and it was bang on the 21-meter tape. It's a real talking point, isn't it, how these athletes manage to manage their day. Had a very early start this morning. They'd have been up around about 7 AM local time on the transport to get to the stadium. Started the warm-up. We did have that thunderstorm. The rain really, really did come down. And all the events were delayed by 1 hour, which obviously ate into their recovery time. Didn't affect Crouser so far. Leonardo Fabri, yeah, he stepped out as well. So this is an unprecedented number of fouls in the first round. We've just got 1 athlete left to go. We've already had 5 fouls out of 11 competitors. Definitely a case of the athletes needing to find their feet. And to finish proceedings in round 1, Filip Mihalovic from Croatia. Just see him unstrapping that wrist support there. This event really does take its toll on the bodies of all these men. Yay, and he recorded a throw, 20 meters 32. So 7 of the men of the 12 up and running in this men's shot put final. I'm just wondering, at 22 meters 63, could Crouser already have done enough? Already have done enough to win this third World Championship title. Only himself, and I think I already mentioned it, Joe Kovacs have gone in excess of that distance so far this year. Crouser is picking up fans all around the world due to his amazing exploits, but I think it's definitely hit the hearts of so many people, particularly neutrals, knowing what he's had to go through this last 3 weeks or so. Any title you can win is always great, but I wonder whether the emotion of this one, I wonder whether he thinks if he could win this one, whether this would be his greatest feat ever. It was a US clean sweep 12 months ago in Oregon. Crouser taking the gold, Kovacs the silver, and Awatunde the bronze. Crouser lifted that title with 22 meters 94. That was a championship record. Just 31 centimeters shy of that already with his first attempt. If Crouser's facial expressions are anything to go off, I'm not sure I normally see so much emotion. Crouser, could this be title number 3 for him? Could he get anywhere near his world record figures? They stand at 23.56. We come to expect so much of this man every time he enters the circle. Wow! Well, I can see it's just short of that world record. Ryan Crouser. Just finds something, doesn't he, every time it comes to a global championships. That was close. That was close. Well, it's just coming on my system. It's 22 meters 98. That is 4 centimeters in advance of what he did 12 months ago. A new championship record from Crouser in the second. It's still in 7th position, courtesy of that 20 meters 78. Now, Campbell. This is very, very important for him. First World Championships, first final. He wants to make that top 8. He's got to get that shot well into the field. He's got to land it. He's got to stay in the circle. Well, another red flag. That is bitterly, bitterly disappointing for Ajinder Campbell of Jamaica. Well, it's not the way anyone wants to go out of a World Championship. Zane Weir, it took him to his 2nd attempt in qualification today. European indoor champion earlier this year. And he was absolutely delighted to win that one. One of 2 very promising Italian shot putters, the only one of which has made this final. Both of them have made this final, excuse me. Fabry will not be happy with me discounting him. So good when you can back your performances up with a couple of athletes from your nation. So good to have that domestic rivalry. Really does drive you on and prepare you for these championships. He does get one in at 1999. So round 2 was very, very important. Leonardo Fabry. It was a foul in the first. The pressure was high in the second. And what about that? Well, he puts one hand up in the air. He runs away from the circle. Could Fabry have put himself in the hunt for medals? Whoa, and look at that athleticism. And what has he done? Well, I'm hearing the crowd celebrate. They've seen something. Fabry's seen it. 22 meters 34. That is 35 centimeters better than he's ever thrown before. And Fabry, has he got one hand on a World Championship medal? So not much rest for Mihajlovic. He only just made this final. He threw at number 12, and he's the next thrower to throw, courtesy of that last-ditch attempt of making the top 8. Here we go, the second half of the men's shot put final. And he's really coming into his own now. Mihajlovic, I'm sure he's thinking, why could I not just start like that? I could have made life a lot easier for myself. But he's in the final, he's in the final 8. And he's going to move up. He is 21 meters 57. He goes from 8th all the way through to 5th, leapfrogging 3 athletes. So Crouser to finish the 4th round. That championship record, remember, 22.98 in the second. Can he get over 23 meters? No, he says. Well, he says no, but it went a long, long way. But again, just another athlete struggling to keep inside that circle. Been a lot of talk this year from Crouser. He's shared with the media a lot of his thoughts. He says, you know, I'm a big guy, and I don't think the circle is wide enough for me. I wish it was bigger. If I could just go out of the discus circle or the hammer circle, I would get so much further. He's made a minor adjustment this year as we just enter the 5th round. Mihajlovic of Croatia. Yeah, just that slight adjustment where he just moves his left foot slightly to give him a little bit of momentum, a little bit more space before he starts that movement. I got told it's like a garden gate. He's just getting the hinge working before he starts, just getting a little bit more movability, just taking that slight step. It's just a foot almost, it's not really a step. Just to the side, get himself just a little bit more space before he starts. And a minor adjustment, but it's making a huge, huge amount of difference. So Mihajlovic, it was a foul for him. Hayton Attendal, what has he done? We're in the 5th round now of the men's shot put final. Attendal's best came in the 4th, 21.78. That is an improvement, 21.86. It won't advance him further up. He'll get him closer to Joe Kovacs, who's still 2 centimeters short of that 4th position. Darlan Romani, frustrating final for him so far. 21-31, 21-10, foul, foul. And I can see the white flag. He's landed that one. Well, this might be the case of him just trying to leapfrog a couple of positions now. 21-57 would allow him to move up one position from 8th to 7th. No, 21-41 as he just throws that towel once more. Joe Kovacs from the United States of America. 5 centimeters to find to get amongst the medal positions. It was so nice to see Kovacs win that title in Doha. His wife Ashley is his coach, and it was very, very emotional to see that moment for them. He's not used to not getting on the podium, Kovacs. 2-time silver medalist as well as winning that title. What has he done? Well, he responds. It's that famous round 5 again, isn't it? 22 meters 12. We now have 3 men in excess of 22 meters. Crouser, Fabry and Kovacs. Walsh just seen Kovacs overtake him into that bronze medal position. 5th round. Well, he really, really gave so much behind that one, didn't he?
But it's getting close.
Doesn't he think he's done enough? The precision, the accuracy, the fight, the stability to stay in that circle. Oh, and it is his best. 22.05, but still just shy of those medal targets so far. But it's been a shaky competition for Kovacs, hasn't it? Started off so well, he was in the silver medal position. He dropped all the way to 7th at one point, got it back up to 4th. And then in the 5th round, that crucial 5th round, he got himself into medal territory once more. 22.12, well, that will not be an improvement. That is the bronze medal going home to the United States of America, courtesy of Joe Kovacs. Another medal added to his tally. And you can just never discount Joe Kovacs at any global final. But what about this guy? He's been one of the real stories of this men's shot put final. 22.34, 35 centimeters improvement on his personal best. He followed that up with a couple of fouls, and it can be understood, so much emotion. But what about that 5th one? We saw it around about 10 minutes ago. That was a huge throw. Can he get out towards that 23-meter line? Are we expecting too much? Well, I think we were. He just didn't have the power, didn't have the trajectory behind that one. He stayed in the circle, he got that white flag, and he's got himself a silver medal. Leonardo Fabry, the only man to throw a personal best in this men's shot put final. And here we are, Ryan Crouser, adding another World Championship shot put title to his growing list of accolades. It was amazing to see him win that on home soil last year. And the crowd are really, really getting behind Crouser. He has the gold medal. Can he go out towards world record figures, and he can! Ryan Crouser, the best of all time. It is deafening inside the National Athletics Centre here in Budapest, Hungary. He just knew as soon as he launched that shot. I'm going to repeat it. Ryan Crouser is an enigma. Championship record. He got it in the second. What has he done? 23 meters, 51. Agonizingly short, 5 centimeters from that world record. Wow, the second furthest throw in history. Ryan Crouser, 2 blood clots in my car. Throw anything you want at me. I can rise to the challenge. Well, what scenes we're experiencing here. He gets the US flag, of course he does. Star Spangled Banner. He's used to having that flag draped around him. But have we just seen something pretty special? Certainly we have, but it's just our knowledge of knowing what he's been through. I'm going to go back to his statements. The last 20 days have been some of the most frustrating and stressful of my life. Well, if Ryan Crouser did not issue that statement last night, you would be forgiven. That preparation has been pitch perfect. Everybody wants a picture with the man of the moment. Well, he saved his best to last. 23 meters, 51. I'm just doing some calculations. That's 1 meter 17 in advance of the next best athlete out here this evening. This is a World Championship final. He's just got such a stranglehold on this event. And here we see confirmation, Joe Kovacs, 2 medals going back to the United States of America. He pulled it out of the bag, didn't he? But this guy achieving a personal best on the biggest stage in the world. Well, I'm not sure many people would have had the Italian down for the silver medal. And here we go, there's the cowboy hat. These are the scenes that we're used to seeing with Ryan Crouser. Lifting titles, having that flag around his neck and having the cowboy hat on. Well, I've got to say, the noise in the arena was absolutely deafening. I think a lot of people thought we were just seeing a world record. I certainly thought, you know what, it's there or thereabouts. Just 5 centimeters shy. The best male shot putter we have ever seen. Thank you, Ryan Crouser. Thank you for putting on a display this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure to be able to bring it to you. I know all my fellow commentators were so jealous when I told everyone, you know what, I've got the men's shot put. Well, I hope that Ryan Crouser can put the last 3 weeks of his life behind him. Championship record, not just a championship record, he obliterated it. Remember, it stood at 22.94 the mark that he recorded in Oregon last year. 22.98 in his second round, and an absolute monster throw, 23.51 in the sixth and final round. Been so good to get the thoughts of Ryan Crouser this year, explaining the change in his technique. I think we call it the Crouser slide, but it's very understated. He likes to keep himself to himself. He likes fishing. He likes all his time away from athletics. He doesn't like being in the limelight. He certainly shines when he gets in that shot put circle. This is his stage, but he doesn't demand it. And he's quite happy just being sat on the banks of a riverbed. Leonardo Fabri, just saw him close his eyes. He's just soaking in this moment. It's not just about what you do in the past 12 months, it's what all these athletes have been doing since they started in the sport. Did they ever dream they could reach such heights? Leonardo Fabri, he's given so many of his Italian teammates such a big cheer this evening, such good inspiration. If they've not took to the National Athletics Centre so far, they'll think, you know what, if my teammate can do it, maybe I can too. Moments like this are just so special. They need to be savoured. And we have had the instant medals. This was something that came in last year, so you can see these three men. They've already been given their medals. They will be represented with them at the official medal ceremony. But it really is a nice feature, and I know when I was an athlete, I would have loved to have got that medal around my neck straight away. Makes it feel real. And especially for Fabri, I bet he can't quite believe it. Three men of contrasting body shapes, contrasting statures. That's what makes this men's shot put so interesting. But let's look at that throw once again. And we talk about the speed through the circle, but he knew, look at him. He was even looking in the wrong direction. He knew when that shot put got released from his fingertips. He knew it was huge. The celebration started, and then he followed the journey of the shot. He was quick to turn round. Again, just amazing scenes, being able to look back at this. Well, I absolutely loved the raw emotion of Crouser there. He dropped to his knees, didn't he? He knew that was huge. So we should be able to pick up the final standings of the men's shot put. Championship record from Ryan Crouser, 23.51. Fabri of Italy, 22.37. Look at that, 1.17 meters difference between gold and silver. And Kovacs from the USA, 22.12, picking up that bronze medal.